Hey, county government meeting, I'd like to bring it to order, please. First up is tourism, Adam.
Hello, everyone.
Take your time, Adam.
Talk slow. Talk slow. Okay. First item up is destination, Dream Destinations Travel Show. This is MGM. It's a consumer travel show. We've attended it probably the last 5 years. It's a AAA travel show, which usually has a fairly good turnout for us. And so I'm getting permission for two shows. They'll be the April 12th and October 18th. No overnights with either show. The spring show will be no car. The fall show will be a car.
I'll move it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, and then the next one is getaways on, no. Cruiser.
Just your.
Brochures Unlimited, my company. So this is, a distribution of our travel guide contract with, Brochures Unlimited. It's one that we use frequently. It's our Pennsylvania, Jersey market area.
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Adam.
Have a good one.
Next up is Patrick.
Bye.
Just.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, I have, the first agenda, resolution is to appoint a member to the Climate Smart Communities Task Force, the representative for the town of Kennebuck, John Casey.
I'll
To
move
read-
that.
read the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
And the second is an authorization to appoint a member to the EMC, Melissa Miller, also representing the town of Kennebuck. Move it.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, then the last item is a report to the committees for the Climate Smart Communities Task Force. It's the annual progress report. And it provides a summary of the actions and the work done by the task force over last year. And Don Metz is the Climate Smart Coordinator, so he can give you a little overview of what's included in there if you have any questions about any of your
Sure.
projects.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, this year we made a report that was very local municipally centered. Because, well, we gave a report, submitted a report last year that outlined all the accomplishments that we had done since like the beginning, start of time when the task force was set up. As you know, we passed some bylaws a couple of years ago that kind of changed the makeup of the group. And we have a lot more local municipal folks on there. So a lot of what we've been talking about at the meetings has been focused on what the local towns, villages, and cities are doing. So this report kind of assembled everything that all the task force in the county have been doing since some of them submitted, what they've been doing since they began. And we just want to kind of highlight or emphasize how much is being done around the county by these local folks. You know, we have like 170 volunteers that we added up all over the county that are just working on climate smart actions. The county's earned over $1 million in grant money that we put towards a number of things, buying some EVs, installing EV chargers, money towards solar panels, etc. Energy upgrades at the courthouse and things like that. And, we, around the county, we've got 11 municipalities have also put in EV charging stations. There's a fast charger that's already been installed in Ghent, I believe. It's up and running, and Hillsdale is putting some money towards another one in their town too. So those are some really big projects. They cost a lot of money. And all combined, since the task forces have been started, we've earned about almost $3.5 million in free non-match grant money to perform a lot of these upgrades around the county. So, and if you had any questions,
I do.
yeah, sure.
So in our town, we're looking at right now putting solar panels on our garage
Mhm.
to support the town, stuff around there, stuff like that. But the gentleman that we've hired to do it says the money, the grant money is drying up for solar fields. Is that true? Or have you heard anything?
Well, I
guess
know
what I'm
that the grants that we've applied for, that Clean Energy Communities Grant program, they ran out of money last year, which is one of the reasons we kind of focus towards the local municipalities, because there's no more money for the county to apply for through that program. That's the main program we use to get our grant money from, or the towns too.
Right.
It is supposed to, we've heard, that they are gonna restart that program sometime this year. They said they would have an announcement probably like April, I think. That's the last.
I mean, what we've heard is on our end is that there's money out there yet to go. After
Yeah.
we're gonna do something, we have to follow through and do it within the
Right.
next year and a half or whatever they're looking for. And I was
Right.
just asking a question if you knew anything about that or something.
Yeah, that's really all I know. I mean, if the town has qualified for the grant money in the past, and that money is still there to spend, but as far as applying for new grants, that probably won't happen. That program won't get started until spring this
Okay.
year. Yeah.
All right.
That's what I know about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gives me some information.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
So, yeah, Don, I wanted to thank you for that. I did get to read it this morning and it was well put together. I'm glad to see all the different towns represented. My question was more specific to my town, and I didn't know how that was requested. The town's task force gave you information about projects that they had sponsored and done.
Yeah.
The town has done a lot of energy projects as far as insulating the town hall, converting it to heat pumps, LED lighting, street lights that weren't necessarily climate smart recommended ideas, but it actually earned them points in the long run by
Right.
doing it. None of that is included in there. I mean, should those things have been included, or was it limited to just projects that the committee had recommended?
No,
Yeah.
I kind of left it up to whoever was at the town
Okay,
level, and if they did respond, then I just kind of went out to the websites and gleaned whatever I could from the local websites, if I didn't
Okay.
get anything from the task force committee.
Yeah.
So I just, that's where I got the information.
Some people reported for the last year and some people
Yeah.
reported from their inception.
Yeah.
But you could always send those projects in and we could have it updated for 2026.
Yes, yeah, sure.
some of the things that we did with the town hall and converting to heat pumps and LED, I mean, saved significant amounts of money for me,
Yeah.
yes, at the same time, carbon reduction as well, but.
Yeah, so, and, every town responded differently. Some of them
Yeah,
outlined.
I didn't know what the goal
Everyone,
was really
yeah.
from that, and I never heard from the committee that they were
Yeah.
putting that together,
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm glad to see it. It's a good organized thing, so, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want a motion to
I
adopt?
was just gonna ask that question.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Did you need a motion to adopt them?
We didn't do it last year, I don't think,
Okay.
so it's up, if you'd like to do it that way, then it'll take it to full board, it's up.
I'll make a motion to adopt the, end of year progress report.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
You don't have to do a resolution or anything. It's just a motion. The committee's
Oh,
said
okay.
okay to release. the
Oh, okay.
report.
I have a question. Did the courthouse get a charger in? Did that happen?
That is up and running, so, yeah. I checked
Well,
my
the
app
heat pumps
a few
over there, too,
weeks
the
ago.
heat
Yeah,
pumps
the heat pumps are installed.
What does that show up on here in Hudson, or is that counties? Like, how does that reflect it in here?
I think Don did
Yeah.
report in here about the county projects,
Okay.
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
we did
They're
EV
both-
chargers at, sorry, Don, but yeah, the highway garage and courthouse and 11 Warren Street here, so.
Yep.
I think they're all in there.
Yeah. If they're not here, then they're in the first one that I did submitted February.
Okay,
So
yeah.
earlier in 2020.
And how many towns have a fast charger?
Just the
Just two?
two, yeah. Well, Hillsdale's working on one. I think the only one that's installed is in Ghent. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
It wasn't easy.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hudson
2 years of hell.
Really?
So anybody's going into it, nice safe territory,
Yeah.
for the record, it's 2 years of hell.
Why?
That's a nice thing. And I'm
Okay,
not hiding nothing. from-
Well, we tried, but
We're not having a good relationship right now.
they don't have enough power for us.
Mhm.
That's the
yeah, I was
problem.
wondering, it takes a
Not
lot of
enough
power.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brenda just, pointed out that the charging stations are listed under the Hudson. The
Okay,
Hudson,
thanks.
the
Yeah,
town-
I
the
had a
Hudson,
chance to look at it.
yeah, Hudson installed some EV chargers too, and the county installed some other ones in different places, so.
Does Hudson have a lot of charging stations?
Yeah, there's some in the, parking lots.
I mean,
Yeah,
10, 20, 50?
No, I don't think that
Not that many, not that many, but some, a few.
Yeah, the ones in the municipal lot were
the municipal, I think.
installed like a few years before this program started at the
Yeah.
county.
Our level twos are great. They work fine. Nobody's having a problem with them. Level three, is just infrastructure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it take a lot of power.
Yep.
Yeah,
Do you have link wells or charge points? Do you have them?
It's, it's neither. I went through Pisa.
We just replaced our charge points with link
Our charge
wells, and they are
points.
so much better.
Our
than the
charge, our
points.
level twos are charge points still, but we haven't had any problems. Chatham has had a lot of problems.
We had connectivity problems. They just couldn't, their software wouldn't connect in our area, but Linkwell has been without any problems at all.
Okay, any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Human resource.
Scenario.
I don't have any fancy brochures.
Oh, gosh, it's gonna sit down over here.
We can change that today.
I'm here to present or ask permission for the 2026 Summer Youth Employment Program. As you can see, we sent the outlines to you. There's 3 quick revisions. One was in reference to the fact that our DPW directors had said they really need for their individual to have a license. They had a person last year who didn't, and unfortunately they weren't able to kind of assist, like, you know, with running to the shop to go get parts, or, you know, doing some things that could really help the crews while they were out there if they weren't necessarily working on the project to assist with that. So it used to just be our facilities department. So now we're making it mandatory that all DPW interns have to have a driver's license. So I think that'll work out. Number 2 was the fact that we have discussed about whether or not the salary or the hourly rate, I should say, excuse me, is competitive with how other youth, when they're coming home and they're working internships and where they're going. But we really felt that at $17.25, it was very competitive with what a person, I mean, if somebody wants to be a food service worker, that's up to them. But here they're getting an opportunity to not only enroll in New York State pension, but to gain very valuable experience, which sometimes they can challenge college credit for. So we give them an opportunity working in our departments that they wouldn't necessarily get working in other places. So we left it at the $17.25, but we are proposing that if a youth comes back, they're already trained, they already have accessibility, that we give them 50 cents more. So this way they would go up to $17.75. So we certainly have the money in the budget to do it. We've had a lot of, really, really good youth last year that came through the program, and we'd love to have a bunch of them back again, which would be great to get them to do that. So it kind of entices them to come back. And then the third one was in reference to this program used to kind of be carte blanche, and it was whoever you found you could bring in, which of course historically was more looking for Columbia County individuals only. So we rewrote the process in there to say, and this is going back to when Pat Ratton was chairman, the youth that come to this program are Columbia County first. They are always brought in. If any supervisors come in out of the 12 that we have, if they are Columbia County residents referred from our Columbia County supervisors, they're going to get first precedent. But we added in there that if all of the Columbia County kids are exhausted and there's still slots, then it gives the opportunity for a supervisor to make a recommendation. Because sometimes you may get an employee. We had an employee from Rensselaer County who had a child who was, he's been a lifelong employee of us, but he resides and it was a great opportunity for his son to work in one of our departments. We had no kids from Columbia County, and the guy did an amazing job. So we just kind of revised that to say Columbia County precedent first, and then if not, then the authority to be able to get chairman of the board approval to fill that, if not Columbia County.
I think that's important, given the cost of housing in the county too. A lot of our employees live out of county for that reason.
Exactly, right. And I think we've seen our fair share of summer youth that have been able to come through the programs, either through this program or we've partnered with colleges, we've partnered with county programs that have been approached by Questar. Marist had a deal last year where, this individual had to come to do an internship and wasn't planning on getting paid. And then we were able to connect them through this program, and she was elated that she got the equipment, she could challenge credits, and then most importantly, so it worked out really well for everybody. So
I'll move it.
I'll second it. In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
thank
Very
you.
Putting it together.
The program, any questions for me, Paula? Thank you very much.
Okay, real property?
Oh, we have board.
Oh, did I forget? All right.
Hey, you're messing up my order here.
I noticed how Mark jumped right up.
Yeah, I know you did.
Don't take it.
Come last, get out of order, I'll do
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies.
So we have a pair of stipends, because we come in pairs. So one would go to a Democrat, one to a Republican. We have, things that are, we're not civil service, so we don't have people working out of title, but we have certain things that we would have to hire out for. One of them is additional records management support. So we're moving existing already budgeted funds from our election assistant positions to reallocate them to these stipends to just help bolster what we need internally. So there's a records management stipend and then an election technology, what we call it, whole book and on-demand voting technology coordinator. Now that the electronics for elections are evolving, we have needs for things that don't fall with the voting machine specialists.
I'll move both resolutions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's it?
All right,
Yes.
and then our one other, I guess annually, it's the tradition that we submit our rates for our poll inspectors and that sort of thing. So the only thing that's changed, we actually consolidated and simplified. And then our training class, used to be $50. It's gone up to 65 because now we have, a different format. Again, new to more equipment, so it becomes a 4-hour class, whereas it used to be a much shorter class.
I'll make the motion.
And if anybody knows of any potential poll inspectors, send them our way.
They have to have training, correct?
We train them, yep.
Yeah, we
So
train
how
them.
much time do you need to get them into you? What I'm saying, what's,
Oh,
The
we'll
election's
take,
November.
we'll take them whenever.
okay,
We do train during the summer, but, you know, if you give us a good candidate and we're desperate, we can do a
well, I'll get
one-on-one.
it out of my town and
Yeah.
put things out so people ask for it, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I mean, you're right, the hardest problem is to
Yeah.
find them now.
I know. It's $18.50 an hour and $65 to train them. We only train them if they are going to work. So we've had problems in the past with people saying, oh, yes, I want to train. I want to train for this and this. And then come election time, you call them, oh, I can't work.
Mhm.
So there's no more of that. If you train, you get, the dates and you will work. So we're kind of strict with
We
that.
are looking for an AB Shaw, custodian as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
AB
who was
Shaw?
it?
Somebody would be great.
Somebody just resigned. I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't AB Shaw. Stay
I
tuned.
know. Chat with them.
We're also looking for someone in Appalachia to do all of the early voting custodian. That's a little grueling. It's 9 days of showing up, opening everything and then closing at the end of the day. They don't have to live
Yeah.
in Kinderhook, but
And that's on our list. As you can see, it's $5.50 per election because it is 9 days. All right.
So we have a
Question about stipend, I should have asked this before. This is for specific work that's gotta be done, it's not, doesn't preclude them from working overtime on something else, right?
and it's not eligible for overtime either. It's just specifically an extra outside fee for above and beyond.
Where they might have to pay another agency or something.
I want to go back to the custodian. So are they there all day for the
No.
9 days? Just in
Just
the
in the
morning?
beginning, it's like half an
And
hour
night.
in the morning and half an hour.
Okay,
And, we had, I guess somebody, the last woman who was doing it is moving away. So somebody who's reliable.
Very reliable.
Who's up early.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Early.
That'll take a lot of kids out.
Yeah, and all the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Linda made a motion to accept.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Is Bill still doing Kinderhook?
No, no, he stopped and we had someone else for Kinderhook, and that's who we, for Orbital. Not for,
Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, good afternoon to you too. Okay, the first thing, my first resolution, as we probably all know, my staff has dwindled, with one passing away and one retiring and still having a vacancy in the deputy's position. So I'm seeking authorization to fill one data collector, real property tax service aide in my office. This position was already granted a, emergency fill order. We've already done interviews. I have some candidates I have in mind. And it is a budgeted position. It was actually budgeted to be a senior position, but the employee that was going to get the senior level unfortunately passed away, and the current data collector is not eligible for the senior level.
Move it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And then I have another authorization to fill. This is creating a new position, a real property tax research technician position. This position was previously held by one of my employees who was upgraded to a tax map technician on a helps waiver. I had my tax map supervisor retired, and we decided that it was the best interest in the office to not refill the tax map supervisor, but to freeze that position and use that budgeted money to create this position. This does create a $23,000 surplus in the budget. We are looking to maintain that money just in case if we need to look at doing any part-time data collector help during the summer time, since we have several projects on the docket. But this is we felt that it was more important to bring an entry-level position into the office for
Probably
someone
easier
to
to find
grow in
someone
the
for
office.
that.
Yeah.
Move
Yeah.
that. Move that too.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Sure. And the last resolution is unfortunately, there was an error with the Taconic assessor. They did a subdivision, and when they did the subdivision, they carried forward the parent parcel's assessment opposed to changing the assessment. So this resulted in a large, corrected tax amount. So all the documentation is here. Because it's over $2,500, I need to seek your approval for it. So the tax bill is going from $17,316.15 to $3,975.59. As you can see, the assessment went from $1,507,400 to $390. So this, to further explain this, there's also a school re-levy on here because for whatever reason, the owner, did not pay the school taxes, and then realized about the assessment issues. So that school re-levy has been recalculated as well. It does have all the appropriate interest and penalties on it, since it is still an unpaid school tax, but it's just been proportioned to the lower amount.
So the question, Mr. Marcus is from Santa Monica? Did I see that somewhere?
Correct,
So
yeah.
his tax bills are going to, is just typo here, Columbia Land Conservancy?
Well, that I reached out to the assessor on that one because I was also confused by that. Because as most of you probably know, we use the assessor's data to generate the tax bills. And with that being said, she had advised me that for some reason they were having the bills sent there, but they have since changed the mailing address, but she forgot to update it prior to the town and county bill being printed. So that was
Gotta get fixed now.
yes, that has been corrected, yes.
But it might have delayed his getting the tax bill too.
True, yes, very true. Hey, my son lives in Craterville. he pays his taxes in Hillsdale, but votes in Taconic. Let's figure that one out. We had to work on that.
You always
That's
have a
right.
tricky ones.
Well, always something to do with that.
So do you want a motion?
Yes, this does need a motion.
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Just some updates for you. As I did mention, I conducted interviews with the help of HR Director Michael for the data collector's position. And I'm setting up interviews. The research tech position is currently posted. That also had an emergency filler. I forgot to mention that. That is posted as of and will come down March 3rd. Then we'll conduct interviews for that. I am having candidates for positions scrubbed, resume scrubbed for both positions because they are very similar in pay and very similar in qualification requirements. So people that are interviewing for one, if I have a top two candidates, I'm going to figure out who fits where in better. I completed the commercial industrial evaluation class, received a 97 on the exam. Thank you. The date for the direct orientation, which is the last class that I need. That's my favorite color too, the green ones. And that's the last class I need for my certification. They'll discuss the date for that at the March conference. We have begun data verification in the town of Copake. And I think I reported last month that Cloverk is completely done and we'll be starting data entry in Cloverk. In DeGraff, one of my employees celebrated her 33-year work anniversary here with the county.
Nice.
And my employee, Kim Crocher, completed her training program and was upgraded to a tax technician as of the 8th. And that's all.
I got a question, Mark.
Sure.
I would got a question, Mark.
Of course.
So you're doing the revale in our town.
Yes.
If you can't get on a property, so in other words, if somebody can't go on a property, they're not allowed to.
We're refused.
You're refused.
Yep.
Do you do it by camera, by?
Yeah.
Look?
Yeah. So in 2024, 911 had the entire county reflown through Eagle View. So all the imagery is up to date on Eagle View. We're lucky in that regard because it had been probably 7 years prior to that the county was flown. And that is a very important tool for us, especially in this regard. Excuse me. So that is something that I plan to talk more with 911 about and seeing if we can get those updated frequently. But yeah, so if we all refuse access, we do go on to that Eagle View and get the data from there. So we can measure from there. We can basically look at all the angles of the residence, and we can. The decks and stuff get a little bit tricky, but we can see most of the stuff from Eagle View.
Yeah. So my other question is, so as you're doing this reval, do the public, is there a list that the assessor has that's what's taxable and what's not? In other words, let's say you put a pool in. Well, in-ground pool, is that taxable? Is above ground pool not taxable? Stuff like that comes up in our office a lot. And I'm just wondering if there's a list that we can, because people just, most of the time they do things, then they come back to us, and say, oh, by the way, I put up a shed.
It's very personal preference. So when we start a project, we have a meeting with the assessor and see exactly how they want us to do things. Some assessors, since they don't value above ground pools, they don't even want them collected. They don't even put them on the roll. Some assessors want them collected. Same thing with fences. That's another nuance. But that's all kind of personal preference to the assessor. Because
okay.
We're really maintaining their role. It's not our role. It's not our rules. We're working for them essentially. So we do things the way that they'd like us to do them. So we do have that preliminary meeting prior to. That's something that I actually started when I became deputy director. We're starting those preliminary meetings and kind of figuring out these nuanced items that the assessors treat differently. Another thing is generators. Each assessor handles them a little bit differently.
If you could ask his assessor to put together a frequently asked question card, so they could come in and say,
Sure.
pools counted.
Right,
or fences
I'll ask her.
counted.
Well, I know Lynn. He knows Lynn.
Yeah.
She's very
She's
good.
very
at what she'll do, yeah. And we'll get that out.
And-
Because I just have people coming in and asking these questions in the town. And they're saying, okay, how do I know? Like they're gonna build something that you don't want because it's not taxable. I don't know.
I can give an example of that. Mine bumped after a relatively short period of time, and I had to go in, and whenever they flew 2 times ago, probably 3 times ago,
my septic system had drained up before my lawn. And from there, it looked like I put in a beautiful tennis court. And when I questioned it, they're like, yeah, you didn't get a permit for that tennis court you put in. I said, I don't play tennis. I said, I definitely wouldn't put it. So I looked at what they had and I'm like, that's my septic system.
Oh, we might have to question this one.
Yeah.
But I never knew.
You wouldn't want to play that. I don't believe it. Becky, you wouldn't even play tennis on that.
Tennis court's inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't see that one.
Yeah.
So I have a clarification for you. I think you said, Kim is now trained as a map technician, but you froze the position. So she.
No, I froze the tax map supervisor position.
Oh, tax map supervisor. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Does anybody have any other questions for Mark? Well, thank you, Mark.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Anybody have any other questions? Need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that.
Second? Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's call the Public Works to order.
We're recording.
Tony says he's gonna keep the snow off till we get home later tonight, so.
Thank you.
know,
I want to see road.
Okay. Up first we have engineering.
Thank you. I'll start up with our bridges. So
Okay.
Stuyvesant Falls Bridge remains closed. We're waiting for that load rating to come back. The consultant has completed their load rating study. As part of that study, they're coming up with cost estimates for repairs. We're looking at 3 different options. I was hoping to have that before today's meeting. They've indicated that they still anticipate getting it to me before the end of the week. So as soon as I get that information, by all means, I'll share it with others. Rossman Road Bridge, we're working with the project consultant on the preliminary design. There is a public informational meeting slated for March 10th at the Town of Stockport Town Board meeting. So again, since the project is funded through Bridge New York, we are required to have what's known as a public information meeting. So we post it, place it into the paper, put it onto the county website. We also then contact the town. So I sent the information over to the town today. Tomorrow I'll get the notification over to Kelly's office, so that way it can get posted onto the county website as well. And that'll just provide an overview of where we are as far as the overall design, anticipated design as far as the structure, and then anticipated costs, as well as the detour plan, which in the case with the Stuyvesant Bridge being out, will become very important, as well as an overall project schedule. So those would be some of the items that I'm going to review. I scheduled a meeting with the town of Claremont regarding Buckwheat Bridge. So I've been working with the consultants on that regarding the bridge alignment, because we are looking to replace the structure as a whole, because it is subject to flooding. We've had issues with flooding on the roadway and bridge. And we are looking at how to realign that, because there's quite an S turn right at the bridge at the present time. So I'm slated to meet with the town board on March 2nd. And again, that will not be the official public informational meeting. I know the supervisor has indicated that he's gotten a lot of requests for information from folks within the town. So I figured as a courtesy just to provide an update of where we currently are. So I can tell the committee with this particular project. So back in the 60s, the county, or the town, my apologies, the town had acquired right away 3 or 4 properties that surround the bridge, because Buckwheat, like many town roads, is actually a user road. Back in the 60s, property was acquired from 3 properties. There is a 4th property where they were not able to obtain the right of way, and they actually own to the center line of the roadway. Because this is a Bridge New York funded project, we will need to acquire the right of way along the roadway. And again, we're just going to request 25 feet from the center line. So that way it meets with the 3-rod rule requirements. But I do know that that particular property owner hasn't been in favor with the project. So I have invited that individual, or that property owner, to the March meeting with the town board. So hopefully we'll be able to have further discussion.
Well, you have to take that from him if he doesn't want to sell it.
We may need to go to eminent domain. And again, because with the state, we do have to, because again, we're utilizing state and federal monies. So we do have to obtain and have ownership of that property as far as making any improvements. Okay? So yeah, so we may need to go.
Have to do what you gotta do.
Much like fishing game road, right?
Yep.
It's all good now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Great.
It is on the Livingston side, yes, it is on the Livingston side. And I'm gonna, coordinate, because we are targeting the May timeframe as far as actually having a public informational meeting. So I'm gonna coordinate between the town of Claremont and Livingston of where that location is gonna be. County Route 9 slopes analysis, late last week, I did receive the findings and the recommendation. I think I brought the committee up last week. We're looking at soil nails to stabilize the slope, based on what's, native as far as the soils out in that area. So additional information would be that the area that's affected is about approximately 400 feet in length. The slope is actually going down into the stream. It continues to move and it continues to be active even now. My concern is that spring is coming, snow melt's coming, the stream conditions are going to get worse. I can tell you right now, based on the estimate, the construction costs are estimated at $1.5 million for the repair of that and stabilization of that
Well,
road.
Dev's gonna pay most of it, right? I tried, you know.
We're gonna put it back to where it was.
Okay.
They wanted to straighten it out and they got it closer to the creek. We're going back into.
So I have a meeting this Friday to have a discussion with the consultants as far as the design proposal. I'm still awaiting the design proposal. I may request for a special meeting before the next board meeting to be able to initiate that process as far as the design, because I'm concerned that we cannot wait for funding. That being said, we are going to look at the potential of obtaining multimodal funding for the construction phase. Multimodal funding is a little easier to obtain. We would have to go through a member of the state legislator in order to obtain that. I know other municipalities have been successful in obtaining funding. I know town of Greenport received multimodal money for slope stabilization, as a matter of fact, for Greendale Road several years ago. And it was a fairly quick process. That's the key, that it's a quick process to obtain the money, allow that construction to take place and then get reimbursed. I can't move forward with a STIP project, which is the State Transportation Improvement Plan, because that's a multi-year process. And I don't think that this will last that long.
Think it'll last this year?
I cannot
You
guarantee.
hope?
I'm hoping that it will.
The snow's melting slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe, my opinion is we need to take care of this issue this year.
That's what I'm asking about.
We need to take care of
We
this
got
issue.
spring coming. Yeah.
So Ray, you said you thought you could get that funding for the construction costs. How much of the 1.5 is construction?
The 1.5 is the construction cost. Yeah,
And
so
what are the additional costs?
the consulting as far as the design, and that's,
Okay,
I'm
that's
waiting.
minimal.
Yes, well, not minimal, but I am waiting for that amount, which I should have hopefully right after Friday.
That money did come fast.
Yeah, it was fairly easy to obtain compared to other programs. We were going to have a representative here today to discuss potential improvements to the DMV parking lot, but they were not able to attend, so we'll table that to perhaps next month.
Right.
They've indicated that they were interested in maybe making some improvements, and they may have some funding available as well. So I don't have any particulars. This was going to be their first presentation of what they were.
Bad day for DMV, they're switching out.
Yeah.
Not a good day.
Not a
for
good day.
DMV.
Not a good day.
Wow.
11 Warren, general contractors started painting the area within the Board of Elections. They're also starting to put up ceiling grid in that area, so that tends to be moving along quite well. The electrician is in the process of installing and completing the main service meter and electric switchgear within the facility. They've also run all of the wiring associated with the backup generator for Board of Elections as well. So that seems to be working quite well as far as the process. Engineering and Facilities Department has been working with the department heads, confirming fob locations, key lock schedules. Brian's gotten all that worked out and returned that information back to the vendor, so that way we'll be able to get the cores which come directly to the county rather than to the contractor, just for security reasons. Furniture vendor has also completed their final measurements of the new office areas. They say that that furniture will be available in April for installation at this point. I also just have an update regarding the building exterior. Now that the full board acted on the design of the exterior as far as the design consultant, I have set up a kickoff meeting with the design consultant for next week. So we'll get that process started. Airport final design documents for the terminal building are anticipated February 20th. And then that'll allow me to review the bid package. And then if all goes well, the bid packages would go out March 5th with a potential bid opening for April 2nd. And that would mean spring construction and about 9 to 12 month construction period for that particular project. Design continues for the AWAS system, which again, that has been approved by the FAA. So we're just working on the contract documents to be finalized. But the parking area, that construction bid package was made available on February 16th, and we're going to open up the bids on March 19th for that. For both the AWAS as well as the FAA, my apologies, that's 90% funding, not 95%. The state picks up 5%, which I have resolutions for, and then the county is responsible for 5%. So my apologies for the typo on that. Water and Sewer District, we submitted a letter of intent to New York State Development Office for requesting the additional $500,000 for that project. That's in addition to the previous $500,000 that was granted to us last year. I just received confirmation today that they accepted the letter of intent indicating that the project is eligible and we can now proceed with the formal application, which is due before April 1st.
Great.
But we didn't budget for that revenue, right? So that's
Correct. Correct.
We didn't have any of the money either. We were going to bond it.
Well, we were actually we're utilizing ARPA money.
Right.
For some of that.
Right, some of it, but there would be a bond at the end of it anyway.
But I'm also, just so everyone's aware, I'm actually trying to work with 911 because they have indicated that they may like space on the tower for a microwave communication unit to be placed onto the tower. So I'm working with them right now, providing and sharing information because we may be able to obtain funding. So that way their funding for the microwave would also pay for the electric service up to the water tower, which would save us and the taxpayers quite a bit of money. Okay. Space utilization, meeting of the county space utilization subcommittee took place on January 28th. And one of the items we discussed was backfilling the areas on the first floor here within 401 that are going to be vacated by the Board of Elections office being moved down to 11 Warren, and what other departments may want to move into this space that are convenient, and also providing better access as far as the public so they don't have to utilize the stairs. So it helps out ADA accessibility wise as well. Another item we discussed was deeming 610 as county surplus once all the departments and all of the equipment and furniture is moved out of 610. So I do have a resolution before the committee to consider deeming that as
Totally right.
as surplus.
Brian's going to be sad.
Resolutions, I did put out to bid repairs to the Kinderhook Truss Bridge. We received 2 bids. The low bid from Upstate Civil in the amount of $74,750. I'm requesting that the committee pass that so I can get that project moving forward.
move it.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Thank you. Second item is regarding 2 change orders associated with some finishes with 11 Warren Street. One has to do with fiber reinforced panels. In the area of the Board of Elections, there were existing fiber reinforced panels that provided protection along the gyp board. But once we redid a lot of the walls, repainted it, we realized that those existing fiber panels are in pretty bad shape, so we're looking to replace those. And the second portion of that was also, pollen that we had to cover, so.
Got a motion, do we have a second? All in favor? Yeah, Rob Lagonia and I took a tour down there a while ago and saw that and agreed with Ray that, yeah, let's do it while we can because it's easier.
The next resolution is, for the chairman to enter into a professional service agreement with MRB Group for, FAA independent fee estimate associated with the rehabilitation of the parallel taxiway design in the amount of $2,850. So anytime a design project associated with the airport that receives FAA funding, anytime that design project is anticipated to be over $100,000, we have to obtain an independent fee from a third party that provides an additional proposal to us, indicating that our design consultant's costs are reasonable. So that's the purpose of this.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
I just want to note that this cost, the $2,850, is covered by the FAA grant as well. So they'll pay 90% of that cost.
I think it's the same MRB that always presents it nice,
Yeah.
like an AOT.
Yeah.
Sharp guy.
Matt, something. Last one has to do with. Excellent.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Au revoir.
So I have, so last week while I was away, I had two additional, items come up, both associated with the airport, both associated with receiving funding from New York State regarding their portion of the federal funding associated with the AWAS design, that's the weather station design, as well as the parking lot design. So I added two additional resolution requests, one in the amount of $2,297 that they.
The first one I gave was 91,000, right? Is that this one right up on the thing?
57? Oh, I'm sorry, 2,000. Yeah, $2,297. Okay, yeah, that's the state portion that's gonna get reimbursed to the county. So it's a request authorizing the chairman to enter into contract to receive that money.
I'll move that.
Second. Motion and second, all in favor?
The second is the reimbursement for the parking lot design for the 5% match, and that's the state portion will be $2,291.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
I think Ray's sleeping over there. It is receiving money.
Hey, he's receiving money.
I was so excited you were at 610. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Do you have any buyers?
We haven't, there's a ways to go before, as a matter of fact, now that we've gone, through that process, I'm actually gonna be meeting with, various department heads because there's quite a few files located in the basement of 610 that we have to discuss on where they're going to be relocated to or archived or what have you. So in the next few weeks, I'm gonna have a meeting with them as well.
Ray's got a sign in his trunk to put up there for sale sign. You already got one there.
And just another quick item, I'm happy to say that I finally received the contracts for the Claverick, cell tower ground lease that's located at the town of Claverick, or at the Claverick landfill. Previously, I believe the county was receiving roughly $10,000 per year for that ground lease. Right now, it looks like in 2026 that the county will be receiving $6,000 for that ground lease based on the new terms.
Wait. Don't run away. I'm sorry about that. I know. I'm apologizing to you. We have a new committee that was formed in Clover Campbell. The whole Clover Campbell committee. I went to the meeting. They were talking about state road and everything, but what did come up is, the one going to Churchtown, 29, is it 27? 27. Okay, well, guess what? The lady was there last weekend. There was an accident right there.
Oh.
Shoved the car right almost into the place there. So that was brought up and there was 3 DOT people there taking the information.
Okay.
And I told them, I said, well, we already talked about the county level. We're involved with a lot of other things that we're fixing. And they said, well, okay, so we'll go through the process to see it this time and see it. But I said, it would be helpful if you guys would come up with some major things, if we're gonna do something. We need your help to make this happen, because we're not gonna spend that kind of money to do that. So they're in the process now. These people were really apologetic because it just happened. There was an accident, you know, things happen.
Yep,
It's just the way it works. So they're looking into it. They might be in contact with
Do you know who the representative BOT was?
I don't have it on me. I've got it on my-
Were they the local representative from Hudson
no,
or down from Poughkeepsie?
Down from the.
Oh, excellent.
I
That's
had
even
3
better.
of them there, and they stayed the whole meeting
Oh,
and
good.
then some. So,
Okay.
so they were very interested in what's going on there, and especially that. So
Okay.
I said, just look at it, you know, you drive through it, you see what happened, like, you know. So, and of course, the accident through on board. So anyway, to let you know, I don't want you to think we're blindsided.
No, no, that's absolutely
I said to him, you gotta talk to Ray, get this thing, they know that.
Okay. Yeah, very good.
Well, Ray, you continue to save this county money and have us getting additional revenues, and we're very grateful.
Oh, as PJ says, I know I say, you know, I obtained maybe $106,000, but then I'm looking to spend 1.5 million.
I was gonna
They
say,
don't balance
you missed
out.
the $1.5 million
It's not from a lack of trying.
Anyone can walk on a highway right now and realize that it's expensive and we gotta do it,
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. I appreciate that. Thank you.
If I hear anything, Ray, I'll let you know.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, and if you get their names, then
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't
get
mind
them
reaching
for you.
out to them. as
Okay,
well.
I'll do that. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
My parts, I know it's still the information on the speed limit.
Oh, hey, you're a busy man.
all right, next we have highway.
Next question, you can.
Yeah, that's.
Tony's gonna tell us he's done using salt for this year. And,
Winter's over. I made a call.
okay, all right.
You got salt? Huh? You got salt?
You got some?
Yeah, because.
What's it on the black market?
We could sell you some, yeah.
Yeah, I think I want some. I'll take some. Make a deal.
We all just learned to drive slower and stay home and.
Yeah.
Stay home.
Like we used to do.
Exactly. Rear wheel drive,
Or
big
both.
wagons.
It was real bad to put chains on.
We tried that. It didn't work well.
So, work schedule, that's what we've been doing, snow and ice control. Snow cleanup, the cleanup from that big storm took quite a while, as you can imagine, the intersections, bridges and everything else. And then use some usual winter maintenance, we're trying to get in here and there, brush, patching, stockpiling sand, and actually I haven't been stockpiling much salt, we're still waiting on our salt delivery. But,
Did you say it
OEM,
was on a barge or something?
yeah, it's on a ship somewhere. I said Africa, right? Chris?
Horn of Africa.
Yeah.
Africa.
So,
My excavator.
yeah.
We
It's hung
yours
up-
is at the bottom.
it's hung up on the boom of her excavator.
Out of the ocean.
But as we discussed yesterday at the LAPC meeting, OGS has gotten OEM involved in it. So I spoke with the guy from OEM after the meeting, and he sent me the information that they're looking for. We distributed that to all the towns. So between the towns and Bubba Harrison's working on getting information from the school district in terms of what they have in stock, what they think they're going to be using, if they're going to be going over their threshold and everything else. So that's all in kind of in the works. So we're working on that, getting all that information back to OEM, state OEM, so they can, I guess, get that back to OGS. Personnel update, none, believe it or not. No new business and some resolution, yeah. And first is to award the bids.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Remove it too quick, or not what's told. Next, to fill one vacant budgeted position of labor in the highway department.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Declare highway.
Move it.
All the work I
Motion
put
and a
into this.
It's a lot of reading.
We'll make Jimmy read it and find it.
I know. Yeah, you can read it.
Have the road signs passed their useful life?
Yes, we can't even operate them anymore.
Can't get parts anymore.
Yeah, and it does not, we don't have the right program for the program itself is outdated. So, And the
Everyone
last,
all in favor on that one?
No.
Okay, we need all in favor on the,
Aye.
authorization to declare surplus.
and the last one's, for the undertaking to the New York State Department of, Transportation for working within their right of ways.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye.
And that's everything.
Also in the LEPC meeting, David Harrison thanked Tony for all their hard work and how important the highway folks are during state of emergencies, and
Great.
that we all appreciate their hard work and.
Oh, yeah.
That we actually were able to put our, those new, portable light tower, or not light towers, traffic lights
Oh,
that we
yeah.
purchased last year.
Yeah.
We were able to get them up to Chatham. They had to close the lane on the state road for a water break. Chris, I took the credit from Bubba. But
Yeah.
it was actually my staff that, I passed it down to them. They did what they needed to do to get up there and get everything done.
And as I remember, when we purchased those, that actually saved us money on the contract that.
Yeah.
Have to lease them, so we purchased them for that same
Yeah.
amount of money and now we're using them. So.
Yeah, we've used
Okay,
them,
thank you, Ray.
what, 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we actually use them on 2 bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this department as well, so.
Yeah, they're lightsabers.
Question. Oh, good question. Salt, have you had an issue getting any salt right now? or is it- Yes.
We haven't gotten
Okay.
any, yeah, we haven't gotten any and
Oh, you haven't gotten it.
We haven't gotten it.
It's not available, as far as you know.
Hippie, it's in Africa.
yeah.
That's what they were talking about. It's in
Oh.
Africa.
It's warm in Africa. They don't
He
use
wasn't
it.
kidding.
Yeah, no, it sounds like I was
I was
kidding.
just thinking about the black market.
Yeah, I just wait for you to say I got extra, you come get something.
I didn't
say that.
Yeah, well.
Although the last time I signed bills for the county, there was $52,000 worth of salt we purchased. And I
Oh,
actually
yeah.
too, it's,
A month ago.
like, yeah, probably, yeah.
Got rid of the ice dam on my house.
Because that got used up.
Oh, salting the highway.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Lyric had a problem.
Well, when I look at them, they look white, there's no color on them. I go,
Yeah.
wait a minute, what the hell's going on here, guys? What is that thing? You know?
Well, that's the thing, when the early part of the year, when the sander is pure white in the back, now it's pure brown, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's why they make the handle.
Maybe should have mixed a little more in early.
All right. Are there any other questions for Tony? That, we thank you, Tony, for the due diligence. And we have solid waste up next.
We passed our.
Randy got
allotment
pretty
a long
pictures
time
for
ago.
it.
I don't know. Start buying washed sand. But I'm certain that they do Rock City. Yeah. Sorry, Linda.
No, you're good.
Oh, we put it in our newsletter.
Okay, guys.
We put it in our newsletter.
Oh, you did?
No, we did.
Oh, very nice. Thank you. All our annual reports, including the e-waste report, have been submitted. They were all kind of submitted before February started. Household hazardous waste collection day event grant reimbursement for 2025 calendar year has been submitted, and the application for the 2026 event was submitted, and we did get the approval letter just the other day. So we're good to go for this year. So I think it's October 10th is a Saturday. I think that's the day that we'll be doing it this year. Our second Western Star has been delivered. We'll be utilizing the hoist and tarp arm from 9L, which we'll be sending off to auction. I have a resolution request for that to follow. We're hoping that it will be on the road by March. Last month, I talked about us doing the New York State food donation and food scrap recycling law webinar. That's kind of what the takeaway was. What we had thought in the office, not a whole lot has changed. The only really interesting thing for me was that the New York Center for Organics Recycling and the NICOR, they're rebranding and expanding the Cornell Waste Management Institute. So this is going to aid farmers and the agricultural community at large to help them increase composting, which would include the animal mortalities, food scraps, and crop residues. And help with the application of compost. So more to come for that in spring of 2026. So I'm going to kind of keep an eye on that. Compost, we're in an area where we can do a lot of backyard composting, and we should kind of promote that a little bit, but I'm glad to see that they're doing some more for the agricultural community. And hopefully that will also mean funding. At this time, the only entities here in Columbia County that have to adhere to the food scrap thing are the grocery stores like Hannaford and Price Chopper, because hospitals, nursing homes, those things are exempt at this time.
You said the tonnage, the production tonnage will change classifications and.
Yep, so it's gonna go, the expansion right now is 2, well, right now we're at 2. In 2027, it's gonna go down to 1 ton if you're producing, and then in 2029, it's a half ton. So by 2029, I foresee a lot of these entities that have been exempt right now will no longer be exempt. But the caveat is that you have to be within a certain location to bring those. Right now, it's a 50 miles radius. In 2027, it'll be a 25-mile radius. No, reverse that.
Yeah.
Right now, it's 25 miles. In 2027, it'll be 50 miles. So that's going to, 2027 is going to be a big year for those generators of producing 1 ton or more, because they're also going to have a larger radius where they're going to have to travel, and they'll have options at that point. There isn't a whole lot right now for people to go, so they can kind of be exempt from this just because there's no place to bring it. So it'll be a little bit different in 2027. So it's something that we should keep an eye on. The EPA roundtable discussion regarding the extended battery producer responsibility framework was very sad because they're not including embedded lithium-ion batteries at this time, which means vape pens, e-cigarettes are excluded from the conversation. And that was kind of what I was hoping. We were going to have some guidelines and suggestions for states to adopt into a law. So that was a little unfortunate, and I was a little discouraged. But the EPA did listen and incorporated a lot of information from the previous stakeholder meetings. So that was encouraging. But this is, again, just guidance and suggestions for states to adopt into a law. This isn't something that they're going to come down and say you have to do. So I was a little disappointed. And Tuesday, we'll be attending a legislative outreach and engagement day in Albany, where we'll be discussing EPR for paper products, the bottle bill, mattress EPR, composting infrastructure, textile EPR, and recovering waste reduction. I'm most interested in the funding that could possibly be for municipal recycling. So I'm hoping that there's some kind of information that we can pull from there on that day. Employees updates. So I have one part-time laborer that is out, and I have a bunch of laborers, part-time laborers that have scheduled vacations during this cold weather. So just a heads up, courtesy that our Saturdays specifically, we will see less employees. So stations that usually have 3 may only have 2 employees for the month of February and March. There will be no station with just 1 employee. There will always be at least 2, but there are some busier ones that usually have 3, and that will be reduced a little bit during these vacations. And the Galveston station, we have not had any issues since last meeting, so no one's been dumping, probably because it's been difficult to get there with all the snow. And the Greenport transfer station, we did start the recycling audits. To date, I have not rejected any load from extreme contamination. We did have conversations with the City of Hudson haulers that come, kind of talking to them about some of the things that we're seeing. And we did speak briefly with the Village of Beaumont. Top contaminants include napkins, paper towels, facial tissue paper, paper plates, which is insane to me that people are putting toilet paper in the recycling. But regardless of all of that, we're finding in our particular station specifically, and it's hard to tell whether this is at curbside pickup as well. I would suspect that it is, but I'm just I don't know. We're finding a lot of, weight loss medication sharps in the recycling. So this is a new trend. And, we've done education on before about sharps not being thrown out, but we're finding them more and more and more now. So I will be reaching out to the Department of Health again, Columbia County Department of Health, to see if they can give us some kind of help with that.
Is there?
There
There aren't a lot
places
of
to take it?
kiosks
I
to
was gonna
take them.
say.
Yeah.
What's that?
There's only a
There's-
couple kiosks that
There's
can take
less
them.
places.
There's only 2 kiosks
Yeah.
in Columbia County
Yeah.
right now, but then also the Hudson Station, Police Station, I believe, can take sharps as well as medications. And there is a plethora of people over in Greene County that also take, that also have the bins. I've shared the syringe disposal kiosk flyer that the Department of Health has on their website, on our website, to kind of give people an idea of where to go. Regardless of whether or not there's not proper disposal, I don't understand why it's going in our recycling. Right? So it's going in with recycling, and people are constantly touching recycling. I mean, we touch it when we bring it into the station, and then we touch it, it goes to a MRF, and then it's sorted and touched again. So the fact that there's a lack of,
It's metal and plastic. That's what
It's
people are
plastic,
thinking.
you recycle.
but the sharp needle though, it just doesn't make, I mean, because we find like the alcohol swabs and the Band-Aid, like all the biohazard with that can be in with the recycling, and it just kind of, I don't understand. I just don't understand, but we're having a little bit of an issue
Being
with
promoted
that.
by whoever is distributing them, the drug companies, I mean.
Right, so I did a
they-
little research
Okay,
because
yeah.
I was curious, because you can get these things online now.
Right,
So, yeah, so you can get these online. So I did reach out to a couple of online companies just for curiosity's
right,
sake.
yeah, are they recommending?
And they don't actually recommend any way to dispose of it, and they're not actually giving sharps containers with the sharps that they're giving.
No, it's not.
So that was interesting to me. So if you're getting them online, I think the education is not there. If you're getting it from your doctor, you're getting a sharps container
Right,
and proper disposal message. So I think it's,
back to the whole manufacturer responsibility, doesn't it?
That's
Yeah.
what Judith Inc would say.
but that,
That's what Judith Inc would say.
yeah. So it's been interesting. So the pictures up here are from the station. So Greenport, Livingston, Kinderhook, and Hillsdale are just the ones that I showed. And that doesn't look bad. I mean, I didn't just take pictures that looked clean. I mean, this was actually, we were in the middle of this pile, and so we took pictures. So it doesn't look bad. They're doing a good job. And I did a recycling audit in the dead of winter. So I don't want the station guys out when it's below zero, standing under the pole barn all day with no coverage. So the residents are doing a really good job. The residents right now in the wintertime are doing a really good job recycling. So it was very nice to see. And the weather has been challenging this past month because it's been extremely cold and windy and the snow, and it's been making working environment a little difficult at all of our stations. And I'm extremely proud of and appreciate all the solid waste staff that we have. I mean, they've continuously showed up. These guys aren't calling in on really hard days when they're going out on the back of the truck. They're here, they're working, they're in the yard. And so they really kind of stepped up, and it was really cold. It was really cold. And then our numbers show that we're a little low. Garbage hasn't been coming in and droves because no one's doing anything. And then I have 2 requests, resolution requests. One is authorization to sell at auction the international. Thank you.
Motion, we have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And then I have another resolution request for authorization for us to transfer one sander, to the highway department. Thank you.
Second. Motion is second, all in favor?
Yeah, look, there's lots of them. I don't have.
Which weight loss drug do you use?
What's that?
Which weight loss drug? Is that Ozempic that you do in your muscle?
Well, I don't use
It's only once a week.
them.
Oh, I guess that
Well, I assume when she researched where the needles were coming from, it
No,
was
because I
associated with
was
the product.
curious. No, it is associated with the products, but I think the ones that, I think the ones that you purchase online
I
are,
use Crank for my weight loss. but
they're like, I don't know if they're on brand or off brand. I think that they're the makeup of whatever those drugs are, but I don't think it's
they're
actually
knockoffs.
as Ozempic or whatever. And they come in all different types of things. I mean, they have like these big
Blue.
The plastic thing.
So the blue plastic ones.
Well, you can tell I know nothing of this.
I don't know,
world.
but it looks like, it kind of looks like a ginormous EpiPen.
Right.
Yeah.
And then,
That's what
and then they, okay, and
Is
then
that
they have
multi-use?
like needles that
No.
you can
Well,
just
yeah, it is. Yeah,
do-
you just-
The needles in the bottle, you know.
Yeah.
there's all-
right, there's
My
all
husband's
kinds
on
of
Ozempic.
things. Oh, okay.
Kippy's the expert on it.
All right, listen, I've
It's
seen
a
it all.
pen and you get four or five needles in one box. And the pen you reuse, but then you throw them out because sometimes they jam and you can't use them.
Okay,
But the pen is good, the ones that they have out now, and the needle goes that injected, then it comes back in. And you can actually.
Right.
There's no,
Those,
you
that's.
can't get enough by a needle.
No needle.
It's inside
but
the
it's
tube.
still not recyclable.
I
Right.
didn't say that.
No, I'm just saying
the
though,
needle's not-
it's still not recyclable, so we have to,
Wendy, I do have a question. I hate to tell you this, but I do have another question.
okay.
Right? So this past fall, we got the senior citizens that we have to hand out for garbage. Correct?
The recycling.
Oh, the recycling stickers,
Recycling.
yes.
That come in November or December?
We started selling them December 1st this year, which
Okay.
is a little
So
early,
the
yeah.
problem we had in Clover was,
Mhm.
everybody seems to come in when they want to do their taxes, and it's tax season
Yes.
starts January 1st. And they were coming, and for this year, for some reason, I guess they're organized, because they were coming out of the woodwork. So
Okay.
the ladies in the office were just slammed, trying to do both at the same time, but you have to do the taxes to get them out.
Nope, I understand.
So I'm just wondering if maybe we could look into that to get them out a little earlier. Is that a possibility, so they could do it like in December?
So we did get them out earlier. I had them all delivered the week leading up to Thanksgiving for sale starting December 1st.
Okay, so they were available.
So they were available
Just the
and
public was coming to pay taxes, I
and
guess I'll get my.
that's what I'm wondering if
Probably.
what's happening is
Yeah.
they're already there and then just asking to buy the
Well,
sticker
it's,
as
but
well.
it's just, I'm in Clover, because we got 6,000, it's a lot
Yeah.
of people coming in all, I mean, we have lines going out the front door, I'm thinking, they're paying their tax, this is great. Oh, they're picking up the recycling, what?
A lot of.
So they were mixed.
So
I had three people working out at the same time.
it's 75 versus 50 for the
Right, so
senior.
the senior is discounted rate at $50 and they can be purchased at any clerk.
Yeah, I'm just,
Yeah.
my clerk is like. But, you know,
Yeah,
I know,
Is it worth-
throw them out of the norm.
no, is it worth having one fee somewhere in the middle? That's a larger discussion.
Yeah, we don't.
We've
had that a couple times.
Every year.
I appreciate the question and we have had this conversation, every year
Yeah.
since it went into,
I understand,
since we
yeah.
went, because it used to be less money and then we upped it. And so we've had this ongoing conversation and last year I thought, or the year before last, my apologies, I thought, to alleviate any discrepancy, we should just have one fee. And that did not fly,
Mhm.
because we really need to honor our senior citizens. And so they kept the two prices, which
That's where the idea came up to do
is
it in the
fine.
clerks, you know.
So in order to make sure that things are being done properly, that's why the clerks.
I understand the
none of
reasoning.
burden of
I absolutely get that. It's the,
So if we sell any earlier, it affects our my budget, right? So I have to make X amount of dollars in my recycling fee. And that is based on sales of the recycling stickers. And so if we continually up that each month, right, to alleviate the burden, it affects my sale or my revenue fee at the end. But it also then creates another issue with residents then saying, but I didn't get my 12 months out of it.
Right.
And I want a discount, I want it prorated. And I come here in June and I get to buy another one in November. So why can't I not do it?
I totally get the reasoning. It's just that
But to
the lower
push it up
price,
before December 1st
That's the reason why.
yeah,
would be a little difficult. I mean, it's still, that's a whole month.
right.
Where it used to go on sale just January first.
Right.
So.
And like I said, maybe it was just because of Quincy, they
Sure.
know where to go now, and they all showed up. But- And then
Yeah.
if that's the case, if we can't change that, and there's no wiggle room, I'll set up our town to handle the influx of people coming. That's all we need to know.
Right.
And the flip side of that is if the committee
Mhm.
and the full board of supervisors wants to go to the higher price with only one level, not having a discounted rate for
Right.
seniors, that would make it easier. Because again, the task that solid waste has before and has had before it is
Yeah.
trying to make it sustainable. And we continue to get pressure about increasing revenue.
Absolutely. And, I don't know the numbers, but if it's 50, 75, because it's like, what's the
Right, so
magic number in there?
I
that-
would like to just mention, and I hope that
No.
this is okay, that
Number's 150,
right now,
Yeah, wow.
recycling, is costing more than garbage
Yes,
to get rid of.
yes.
So our tip fee right now is quite high. And so I can't anticipate meeting in the middle
Okay.
and breaking even for just how much we're paying to get rid of recycling. Our PET market has
Mhm.
crashed.
Yeah.
Which is like your soda bottles and whatnot. It has crashed. It is, we're looking at maybe 3 cents a pound.
Okay.
So
All right.
it's really rough, and we've lost a bunch of 5 of the 30 companies within New York, or not New York State, but this country that does recycling have closed. We're getting more post-consumer PET. 25% of that is now being shipped into the United States. So we're not even using what we're recycling. So the recycling market right now is really poor.
Mhm.
And I just can't see lowering that rate and breaking even.
Well, we could go to one standard number. I mean, that's up to us. And
Yeah.
we have gone down that path
Then you got a
before.
complaint that you don't care about the seniors.
Part of the uptick I saw and heard was this is the first year seniors had to go to their town.
Second.
No, second.
Second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I heard it over and over that they weren't aware of that. And last year, the guy even put the sticker on for him at the transfer station. So that was
Yeah.
our number one
So
complaint.
this was our second year.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's been an adjustment.
Because that's why we upped it, because the clerks spoke and we listened, and so we let the sale start December
And we
1st.
had that same thing. We had the
So-
lines of people.
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
I know
that-
Chatham, I mean, I see the numbers come in. I look at all of the clerk reports before they get
Mhm.
sent out to, so I can see the sales
We
and,
broke a new record.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
yeah.
We never sold that many. So
I mean, and
that's
you
why
guys
I
are getting a
believe
little
what I,
revenue too.
And the towns
right?
are getting
So you're
revenue from that, so-
$5 a sticker sale. So I mean, that's kind of nice too, but
Yep.
your revenue is, the sales have been
Well, they're going up, it's a good thing.
very good.
Right. So
Right.
that's not an
Which
issue,
means
but
that
I guess
everyone
we
is
just
doing
didn't
their job.
expect it. Now, of course, the ladies are like, well, I gotta do the taxes and I'm dealing with all these people that are coming in
Right.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we gotta upgrade if that's the case. Is there no way, that's why I just wanna bring to your attention to say, hey, you figure this out. If we can't do it, then the town will take care of what we gotta do. That's not an
Right.
issue. you know?
And it was our idea to do it that, that wasn't solid waste's idea. That was-
No, I'm not gonna say not to work together, what, how can we?
And I've had conversations with supervisor, not as far as the admin office selling them.
Right.
Because we're not selling them at the moment. So, because people do come to us, but we're only open Monday through Friday. So then that leaves people who bought them in our office Monday through Friday, they come in on Saturday and why can't I get my senior sticker today? So we're having that conversation now on how to kind of.
What isn't working, we'll
No.
get it figured out. Just what I'm saying is that you want
Yeah.
to bring to your attention.
Yeah.
That will happen. I think the other ones have got the same thing, so.
Yeah.
We'll come up with a plan. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
But on that same low, as much as we're all seeing our clerks be busy, I think that Wendy can testify to the fact that we've been short-staffed at all of our transfer stations this year.
Correct.
And it's been nice to not have our staff having to sell them there too. So, right? I mean,
Yeah, and we've sold our share of
right.
regular permits.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean, if you had this same influx that we're
Yeah,
in the towns,
absolutely.
your stations would have been busier. So,
And you've been tasked with saving money.
Yes,
right.
To save your
Right.
department.
right.
Well, if NISAR could provide you with a vending machine and you just sold the higher tier recycling permits, so if people are in a rush, pay extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can dispense bags. I mean, we got something at 325 that dispenses Narcan and prophylactics. I mean, it's like, we should be able to do something and save everybody the
You
time.
get a Zempic in there, you'd be one stop
Yeah.
shopping.
And you can drop the needles.
Since recycling market's crapped out, and we're basically losing money on recycling, should we be concerned about increasing our fees slightly again? Because I know we're losing money on this. We'd rather have people throw it in garbage.
At the moment, with the fees in place, the recycling is paying for itself.
It is,
It is, it is. The recycling is paying for itself,
even with the dip in the market.
even with the dip in the market. Yep, at the moment, yes,
At the moment.
at the moment.
And the dip in the market is because China's sending all their garbage here?
No, no.
It'll be that way one day.
It's coming in though.
But recycled PET is, they're using more recycled PET in post-consumer products, right? So for whatever reason, we're bringing that, using what we are
Yeah,
producing
they're
here.
flooding our market.
So our market, it
Where's it coming from? Another country?
overseas.
Yeah.
Well, I said it a lot, but
Just like
the
you said,
waste to energy systems with the cogen plants, I
Yeah.
mean, that's gonna be the next thing, because you're running out of landfill space, they're not using
Yeah.
it. And all this plastic we're putting back into these other products is carcinogenic in some form or another, so.
Well, I mean, I'm pro that, so
Thank you, Wendy.
be another project for Mr. Kirkowski.
And Wendy, certainly, on behalf of the committee, I extend our thanks to the staff for doing a good job through the
Thank you.
cold weather.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Brian is up next with facilities.
Hi.
Good evening. You're sitting so down.
He's very sad that we're gonna get rid of 610 State Street. So it's heartbroken now.
I think that building's angry though.
Oh.
It does not want us to leave, because
Okay.
there's nothing but problems there. As is.
Yes.
Right on the source.
Historical landmarks.
Actually, we've been, started a little renovation project down at 325, due to everything going on. We have to bring back the transportation department back to 325 for healthcare consortium, so, we're working on that right now. 610, yeah, like I said, we had some heat issues there, had to replace a motor on one of the pumps. Then must have been 2 days later, one of the controllers went. Luckily, we had one there. We'll be able to swap it out, so we got it back going again. But that building, I don't know, just it knows we're doing something. So it has an idea. I don't know.
And you do too, right?
Yeah. So basically, had to throw out a bunch of frozen water lines at the wash bay and in the mechanic room over at the jail. Saw Waste had a lot of work up there with their pipes, throw out some frozen water lines, cleared the sewer line. Out in Highway, we had a lot of heating issues, plus their fuel dispensers. For the diesel were jammed. We had to replace the fuel filters a couple times here and there throughout the county. So we had some snow guard for the new 911 entrance, so it doesn't come down on the equipment. But regular routine maintenance, a lot of snow removal too, so.
Hey, Brian, how did you get, I thought snake piping, how did it block the sewer line? I don't know.
Yeah.
Up there. Yeah, snake plugged the sewer line.
Oh,
I thought they
snaked
were
it out, yeah.
You snaked it out.
Well, it's warm in there.
Oh, that's the way I read it.
It's
I was
ironing.
wondering.
If you're not sure, the next time it happens, you can come down.
Well,
and-
yeah. See how big this snake is.
Yeah. I went where it was warm.
Yeah, true.
I do have a resolution. This is to, go in another agreement with, Milton Cat for our generators, throughout the county. We have one at Mount Ida, 560, public safety, and at the highway garage. So we're just gonna be entering into another 3-year contract.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
That's all I have.
That was it, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Question for Brian?
I didn't catch Ray's earlier report. I'm sorry. Is 911 live? They're all.
No, my understanding is that Motorola continues to work on their portion. Last I heard was March 4th is the official change. But I believe it's, again, you'd have to check with Kevin on that, but
I haven't heard anything other than that in
yeah,
a
we're
while.
just waiting on Motorola. Again, everyone's heard the reports by each one of the directors. I just want to commend all of the directors as far as public works, facilities, solid waste and highway, and the minimum, because a lot of times you're hearing about the issues that you're dealing with and they're not during business hours. They're on weekends, before, there's a lot of snow cleanup that takes place on the weekend, and before the normal staff get into our parking areas, they all have to be cleared out. So with that last storm, it's been an old fashioned winter, we've been spoiled. But I just want to make sure that all the men and women, the directors are acknowledged on their efforts, because they have done a wonderful job keeping things going as far as all of the other departments and our facilities.
Everything is harder to think about. All right, if there's nothing else, we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Motion and second, all in favor?